Hey friends, you know what time it is. It has been a chaotic couple of weeks, so grab a drink, get cozy, let's have a catch up. It has been, a very chaotic fortnight. I have got a lot to chat about. It has been Valentine's Day, almost all of my plans have gone completely sideways. And some good news, a really cool story about a group of women that are building a satellite. Let's get into it. Firstly, how do I even begin to talk about Valentine's Day? My original approach was it was going to be so simple. I was going to do a pink makeup look, do a little photo shoot, girly pop, absolutely feminine energy, and be really kind, self-care, and I was going to do a video where I spoke about loving yourself and looking after yourself and ways to navigate Valentine's Day alone. That was the plan. And then Mother Nature just decided to and I went from girly pop feminine self-care Valentine's alone to absolute the hormone train went choo-choo and I decided fuck that. I am not feeling delicate and pretty and feminine, and there was three days till Valentine's Day, and I knew that I wanted the video to be uploaded on Valentine's Day. Day one was going to be how I really felt about it, which manifested in goth, mourning, dark, anger, insanity.
Anger, pain, fear, aggression.
So going into it, I knew that I wanted to film the whole process of me doing the makeup so that I could do a full tutorial for it. Then decided I wanted to do a reveal section that showed off theatrics, that brought the drama and put the makeup in a scene, I guess, a wider performance. And that went... It went. So I came up with a vague list of shots that I wanted to get for this reveal video. For example, there was a couple of cupcakes that I will put there. There was some little heart-shaped chocolates. I wanted to show off my champagne flutes. The fake blood happened later. Let's start with the cupcakes. The original plan for the cupcakes was obviously soft, girly. I'm going to pamper myself and have some little delicious sweet treats. Very gentle, very wholesome. By the time I got around to filming it and the mood that I was in, I made a complete mockery and I decided to eat it with fervour and do it in a jokey, fuck you sort of way. Didn't read that it was a filled cupcake, and I also didn't think about the fact that there was an inch of icing on the top of it. But I commit. When I commit, I commit. And on camera, bit into this cupcake. We're gonna get real here. Icing goes straight up my nose. I will learn to be less uptight about being grim. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to find some footage of this gorgeous moment. I got cake up my nose. So that was sort of strike one. I decided I had to do it a second time because there wasn't enough footage, because all I could manage was like a half bite after getting... So paused the camera, got rid of the icing, made sure my lipstick was okay, went back and filmed a second one, which went equally as badly, and I had icing on the end of my nose. So that was... I was like, right, okay, fine, let's move on to the next shot that I want to get. And the next shot that I wanted to get was fake blood. A friend has given me a leftover bottle of fake blood, and I was like, okay, yeah, vampire queen, she's killed her husband and she's mourning it. Love it. So I thought, oh, she takes a sip from her champagne flute and smiles, and she has blood in her mouth and it drips down her mouth, and you realise that she's a vampire. And cool. I think that would look really cool. Here it is. It looks really cool. I have never tasted anything as bad as that fake blood in my life. Like, absolutely the worst thing I've ever tasted. And once again, didn't think to test these things beforehand, so I took a little sip off camera and decided to keep it in my mouth so that after I took the sip from the champagne flute, I could then let it drip. Oh my god. I hated it so much. And it was the consistency of like a thick... I've used fake blood before, but I've normally made it myself with like golden syrup. I think that was an old Peter Jackson trick, I think. But yeah, there was a recipe that I use normally for fake blood that involves golden syrup. So the taste I was expecting versus the taste that I got, and it stained my teeth immediately. The Oscar for good performances. And yeah, after that, had to cut the camera, go and mouthwash and scrub my teeth, try and get rid of the like now pink stain that I was getting on my teeth, and go back and try and get the rest of the shots because I didn't put them in order of grimness. I think, yeah, after that, the shots that I filmed were just the one behind the lace and more like artsy, artistic shots. And after that, I was like, okay, we can roll with this. We can just make it even more like off the wall. It's garage. Garage, darling. After that, I was pretty done, I'll be honest. I was already feeling very, very crap. So I decided that if I didn't have the shots, I wasn't going to get them, and I was just going to try and edit with what I had. And that went okay. One of the extra left turns that I had was while I was doing my makeup and filming it, I decided to put a movie on, and I watched Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, which I haven't seen before. I know Elvira as like a pop culture figure, but I haven't seen like any of it really. And that completely transformed the vibe I was bringing to the function. I was originally going for, dramatic, mourning, gothic vampire, and after watching that movie, I was feeling like Elvira. Unpleasant dreams. And I think you can tell from the reveal section to the outro, completely the different vibes. Okay, so it was done, and after a chaotic day of filming, I decided to leave it and just edit the next day. The next day came. I was going to try and do the counter look, the girly. I wanted to do over-exaggerated girly pop from a cynical view, and doing that actually worked. I tricked myself into feeling good again. And I don't know how I managed to do it, but once again I just picked some reference images of what I wanted the general vibe to be and picked out an outfit. And yeah, I did this pink makeup. I'm so happy with. I literally felt amazing, and even doing the cheesy over-the-top reveal dream section that I used for way too long in the Valentines video, I was honestly over the moon with how it came out. And trying to be this over-the-top, girly pop effeminate. So yeah, I was feeling really good after that, and I was like, right, I've got two sides of the coin. I know how I want this video to look. So I sat down to start editing it, and I realised that the intro that I had recorded at the very beginning, I'm holding the microphone because I wanted to record good audio quality. Wound the cable all the way over to where I was filming, spoke in the microphone, sat down to edit it and realised that I hadn't switched on the recording on this microphone, and I was stuck with the audio as it picked up from my phone. Therefore, my original plan for Valentine's Day was something soft, sweet, and filled with love. And after everything, I was like, really? Great. Still hormonal at this point, so I'm like, ugh, time is running out, and I think it's the day before Valentine's Day, and I was like, I just wanted Valentine's Day itself to be a gentle day where I can look after myself and just having a gentle day. Is it called ADR? If it is, that's what I did. So I sat very much like I am now and listened to the way that I spoke and tried to lip sync to myself, or reverse lip sync. Anyway, tried to match it up as good as I could, but I was really losing patience at this point. And the funny thing is exactly the same thing happened when I went to film the outro. I ended up with such bad audio quality on the outro, and I don't know if I want to reveal this. I had just finished watching the Elvira Mistress of the Dark movie, and I was obsessed with yeah. And I thought, I could do that. So me and a roll of masking tape got rather friendly. To be honest, when it gets to the final outro bit and I'm doing my best to do a very tired, very hormonal Elvira moment, every time I moved, I'm gonna put it in here because it's one of my favourite movies. There's a moment, there's a bit in Singing in the Rain.
Shouldn't have flirting with Dave. They will surely find you out.
Cut! Dana, we're missing every other word. You've got to talk into the mic.
Well, I can't make love to a bush.
All right. We'll have to think of something else.
And this is exactly... So I realised that every time I was moving and gesticulating, I was moving the masking tape and my whole chest was making, like, ripping sounds. While I was editing the audio for that, I had to make sure to turn down all of the crackle, like, the individual moments where it was definitely that moment that was pulling here. Rip. And I think I managed to get all of it out except the absolute end of the video. I'll see if I can... And if that fails, there's always chocolate. Or sweet revenge. So that was a learning experience as well. But all in all, I got it released on Valentine's Day. Am I 100% happy with it? No. But that's because I would probably leave the makeup tutorial section for something separate, which is why I want to do a separate video for a full tutorial for both the dark gothic look and for the girly pop feminine moment look. So part of my pre-hormonal, gentle, wholesome Valentine's Day plans for myself is I booked myself onto a bath bomb making course at Lush. And it was only starting a few days after Valentine's Day, so while I couldn't have the bath bomb on the day, it was still like a dedicated moment. So I was going to go on this workshop and make a bath bomb for myself. I didn't want to film the whole process. I'm really not one of those people filming outdoors. Get a little bit of footage so that I could talk about it, come home, have a pamper, draw myself a nice bath and drop the bath bomb in and just have a really cozy evening. Childless spinster that I am, I had no idea that it was half term. And when I arrived, there was a mother and child there, and I'm like, oh, that's so sweet, they've booked on to do the workshop together. So I came in and I sat down, and I realised that no, just the child was doing it, and the parent was watching. And then another child and parent turned up and just the child was doing it. And then it happened a third time, and I was the only grown adult doing it. And instead there's a flock of parents watching and filming their kids doing the workshop. And I'm sort of sitting there just like, oh, okay. In all honesty, the workshop itself was really great. Just sort of as simple as like mixing the bath bomb mixture, pressing it into the mould. I think we had, some little like sprinkly, sparkly hearts that melted into like a jelly that were lovely. And also there was like a love note that you could write on and put inside the bath bomb. And to me, I love that. I absolutely love that. So I wrote some positive affirmations, some self-love, and popped it in my little mould. And I'm hearing the kids like,
Oh, I don't want to write that. Oh, I'm going to give it to my nan.
and I'm like, okay. It was a fantastic experience. I really loved it. Even with the kids there, it's just a shame that the other parents couldn't get involved and stuff. I think that they said that there weren't any tickets left. But I'm definitely going to look at they run a few throughout the year, so I'll definitely look at doing it again, because it wasn't that expensive to do. Works out that doing the workshop and everything works out as the same price as you would pay for the bath bomb if you went in there and bought it, so there's like that extra experience with it. And I used that bath bomb last night, and it was really, really lovely. I had such a lovely bath with it. It smelled delicious. It smelled like roses and candy. And self-care is godliness. I've been doing really well at trying to stick to my routines and getting everything into a workable fashion. So my plan going forward is to still do one video a week on YouTube minimum until I've got that running like a well-oiled machine. I really don't want to dedicate myself to too much more than that, but one video a week, various topics, various hyperfixations. And this week's video was going to be just a mini project. I had what was going to be 4 glass bottles, but actually ended up turning into 3 glass bottles hanging on a wall. Why are glass bottles hanging on a wall? Ended up with 3 glass bottles and did like a whole mock-up plan of what I wanted to do for them. The first one was going to be one of the more detailed ones, and that was because I wanted the glass itself to look like stained glass. And then I was going to use an epoxy putty, I think this one's called Milliput, to sculpt some like filigree patterns and flowers and stuff on it. And I mean, it was going okay, it was going fine. Before I even began the wine bottle project, I needed to wipe off some designs that were already on it, and in doing so knocked over my nail varnish remover onto my desk, which was not entirely covered. I think that it only got over some paperwork, so I think I managed to save it, but that should have been an indicator from the start. Filming the whole process, so excited to do like a mini project and take you guys along. And once again, I hit a mini road bump. Whoops. I've stuck my thumb into the paint and pulled all of the paint away from the glass, and now it's got a massive triangle of missing paint. Okay, I can roll with that. I'll just put some filigree over it. Hindsight is 2020. And what I should have done is mix all of the epoxy putty, all that I had, into one big ball and work from that. I thought, I'm not going to need all this. This is loads. I'm not going to need that much. So I just started sort of mixing it as I went. Turns out, if you've got to mix something 50-50 and you're just sort of eyeballing it, it's not very 50-50. So a lot of the epoxy putty didn't set. It was way more difficult than I expected to work with, but once again I rolled with it. Got a fair amount of like swirls and patterns all the way around the outside, and I left it overnight to dry. So the next morning I come in just to give it like a little feel over, just to check it's all set properly, and no, it hasn't. Some of it has, some of it's great. It's hard like clay. some of it's really not. Okay, I can roll with this. I'll just put some gold paint over the top. Can I find my gold paint? No. So I have two options. I have gold leaf, which I already know is chaos, and I will have gold leaf flakes floating around my place for like years. Archaeologists will still be finding gold flakes. Or like a gold paint marker. I can work with a gold paint marker. Gold paint marker can't work with non-set epoxy clay. So I end up pushing the nib in to get a higher flow rate too often. And now it has giant gold drips all the way down, a lot of it. I can roll with that. I'm fine. I'm just gonna wing it. I'll wipe it off when it's done. Wouldn't wipe off. Okay. What about something like acetone nail varnish remover? Oh, that works. Yeah, I'll keep. Oh, it's all coming off. Okay. And at that point, I was so pissed off with it. I was like, fine. I can take one duff one out of the 3 that I was doing. So I moved on to the second one. This was going to be a galaxy shimmer skull. Bought some glycerin to make the shimmer liquid thicker, so it would be more like a lava lamp. Thought that mixing something like baby oil in with it would create a lava lamp type effect that I wanted. Didn't even think to do maths or science. 3 to 1, yeah, sure, one bottle will do. The one bottle. It's like, oh, that would be fine. It's only a small skull, it won't take that much. So I pootle along to Hobbycraft. When I say I pootle along, it was chucking it down. Should I have filmed the intro before I went out in the rain? Yes. Absolutely chucking it down, but I'm like, I got this, I can do this. I'm gonna go get some glycerin, got some glycerin, gonna go get some food colouring to make it like a nice purpley pink shade, got some food colouring. Came back, I had all my glitters ready, I had sequins and things that I was gonna put in it. Filmed it all, look, here it is. 3 to 1. Filled up the skull with water. So one of the first things I did was like filled up the skull with water and then emptied that water into a measuring cup to see how much of the glycerin I would need. And it turns out that the skull takes way more water than I expected. Okay, I can roll with that. And I just thought, oh fuck it, I'll just do it, it'll work. Why not? Why wouldn't it work? Poured the liquid in and it seemed very watery. Thought, right, can fix this with the baby oil. Could not. And I mean, well... Did I have instant regret after doing that? Yes, I absolutely did, but it felt so... fuck it. I won't do any of them. Fuck this video. Like, fine. That's it. I need to rest for the weekend, I need to get my hormones in check, back balanced. I just needed to take the weekend and the end of last week just to stop the world from spinning a little bit. But the world, in fact, did not stop spinning, and the world is swinging so far to the right that it's hugely concerning. However, we exist and we continue to do our silly little crafts. So... while the last 2 weeks have been dreadfully chaotic and it's felt like it's been 1 step forward, 2 steps back, I've also had some good downtime. It's been a learning experience. I'm gonna be planning my project a lot more beforehand, and I have just bought a diary to do so. This is organisation, and telling you about it is accountability. So I wanted to finish out this vlog. I don't know how long this is going to end up being, but I wanted to highlight a couple of things that have been good news in the last 2 weeks for me and in my sphere. The first one's really simple. I think it was 2 days before Valentine's Day. It was the full moon, and I love the moon. I took this picture. I love taking pictures of the moon. I love taking pictures in general and like taking pictures of nature. But yeah, this photo that I took of the moon makes me so happy. I didn't need to do very much to it. It was literally just the night mode on my phone and a very steady hand. yeah, I'm really happy with this photo of the moon that I took. And finally, a truly heartwarming, inspirational bit of good news that I came across this week was there's an incredible group of young women in Kyrgyzstan that are looking to build their country's first satellite completely independently without government support. And that's absolutely incredible in my mind. It's truly a demonstration of if you dream big, you can be it. Their aspirations were the stars, and they are going to get there, and I 100% believe that they are going to get there. I think that it's truly heartwarming, especially in today's climate. It's an all-female team, which is even more groundbreaking. STEM subjects, STEM industries are still heavily male-dominated, especially in Central Asia. I'm not sure if I can include some footage alongside my talking about this, but I will be linking their Instagram and Patreon below. They are not posting on their English Instagram as much anymore, but I do believe they keep their Russian language Instagram updated, so I will put links to all of that below because I truly think that it's such an amazing project, and yeah, I want to see them succeed. I'm really, really behind them on this. I love seeing people push forward against the odds, especially when it's driven by passion and a belief in something bigger than themselves. If they can keep working towards something this huge, even with all of the odds that are stacked against them, then maybe we can all take a little bit of that energy into our lives. I truly think this woman's journey is worthy of not even just a whole video from me. Like, this definitely needs eyes, ears. I am so happy for these women, and my small corner of the internet is fully behind them, and I wish them all the best. This has been a completely chaotic 2 weeks, and I had hoped to bring some more colour, sunshine and inspiration to this vlog, but that means that hopefully next one won't be quite as chaotic. I am also going to be moving the vlog from Monday, which it is now. I will be moving it to being posted on a Sunday evening, so we can have this as a Sunday evening catch-up. Lucky number 13 days time. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday will be my next vlog, but there should be another video coming out this week. As always, if you liked what you see, give it a like. If you want to stick around, hit subscribe. And yeah, I will see you guys again in 13 days, where we're gonna get cozy again and have a bit of a catch up. So yeah.